Hello everyone. So today let's see the scenario of SCD type 2. So let me show you the table structure. So if you see over here, this is my OLTP, OLTP employee table in which EMP number is given, which is a primary key column. Then name column is given, designation column is given, and salary column is given. Only these four columns are given right into the OLTP table, and I have inserted these five records into that OLTP table, right? And now the second table is dim EMP table. So into the dim EMP table, I have created one surrogate key to uniquely identify each of the record, right? Uniquely identify each of the record, and also that should be auto generated. We do not need to insert the uh, value in that particular column, and that is also primary key column, right? So that is a ESK column, then EMP number column. So in this EMP number, there should be a duplicate value are there. So for uniquely identifying the record, I have created this surrogate key, right? ESK. The name column is there, designation column is there, salary column is there. Then to implement the SCD type 2, I want to maintain the historical data as well. So therefore that purpose, start date, and start date is by default it is a get date, right? I have taken. And end date, it is by default it is null, and is active also by default it is 1. So initially the data should be is active only, right? It will be only active data are there. So if you see over here, this is my initial table are there. This is my initial table are there. So let me do one thing. Let me okay, let me do one thing. Let me truncate this both of the table, because I have already executed the pipeline. Okay, I have truncated this table, and now let me truncate this dim EMP table also. Truncate table dim EMP, right? So I have deleted that table also. Now let me insert the data into this first table, and now let me insert the data into the second table also. Now if you see over here, let me copy the data from both of the table into the Excel file to explain you. So I have already copied. Let me copy it into this new sheet. So this is my initial data, and let me see what is available into this dim EMP table. So this is my data warehouse table. We can say I am maintaining, right? So now what is SCD type 2? So whenever we are going to update any record into the source, then that record main should be have two records into the destination. So see, if any new record are there, so this is my new record are right. This is my new record are there. So for this one, only one record should be maintained. So whenever new record are there, that record should be inserted into the destination side, right? But whenever, if you see over here for record ID 2 and 3, for record ID 2 and 3, salary are updated over here into my source table, right? For record ID 2 and 3. So if you see over here also, record ID 2 and 3, salary is different one. So what is going to be happen over in this particular case? So it will be happen. So if you see this record and this record is no change are there, right? This record and this record are no change over there, so it should be similar as it is. Then again if you see fourth record and this fourth record are no change are there, so this should be also the same record should be there. But now this record is updated over here into the my first source, right? So what will happen? This two record is going to be updated. So let me show you. This two record is going to be updated and it should be copied over here. There should be ideally up some end date will be there, and both of these record will be having 0 because now it is not active, right? So this is a historical data, right? Now what will happen? These two record will be entry will be done over here, right? These two record will be entry will be done over here. So it should have some start date. So suppose let me bring the same start date to explain you, and it is going to be null, and now these two record will be active, right? These two record will be active, right? And now if you see over here, this record is going to be inserted. Why? Because this is a new record, right? And again this will have some new date, and again this one will be is active. So whatever the records has been updated in the source side or into the first source, that record will be inserted, as well as that record should be updated also. How it will be updated? The old record into the destination side will become inactive, that we have done over here, right? These record are going to be inactive, right? These record are going to be inactive, and that same record will be inserted over here, right? So this is a totally a new record. So let me mark it as green, and let me okay, let me do paste it over here. So now this will be our updated table, right? This should be our updated table where we can see what is the previous value of particular employee before update. So that record will be inactive over here, and what is the new value of the same employee, so that record should have a status is equal to 1. An old updated record should have status is equal to 0. So we need to implement the same thing into the Azure Data Factory data flow, right? So I have created this table. So if you see this table, we will see after running of the data flow, right? This table we will see after running of the data flow. So now let me do one thing. First, let me running the data flow. Then I will let you know what I have done inside the data flow, right? So let it finish. It will take some time. Okay, let me show you meanwhile the data flow also, how I have developed the data flow. Just wait for some time. So over here if you see, there are two source are there. One source is, we can say, the first table OLE OLTEMP, right? OLTEMP, that would be our first source. See over here. If you go to over here, if you go to this, if you click over here, and then if you open this one, then OLTEMP is our first source, right? And I have to take on the sec. Okay, it is executed. Now let me show you the second source also. This is my second source. Let me open. This is dim data warehouse table, right? So this will become my second source. Now let me show you the table because the data flow is updated, right? The pipeline is executed. So let me show you the this final table over here. So let me copy this data over here into the Excel file. So okay, no problem. Let me copy it into the last sheet, and let me copy this one also into the last sheet, right? So this is my execute after the execution of the data flow, right? So see, if you see over here this 9,000. So where is Harshit 9,000? You have to identify that record, and it should be now active, right? So let me make it yellow only. And this Janvi is, if you see over here, 7,000. So this record also should be active. But what are the inactive records for that one? So previously, whatever the records are there, that are going to be inactive records, right? That are going to be inactive records, right? And this record has no change, right? So no change. Then this record also has no change. This is newly inserted record. These are, we can say that, updated, and this is also absurd, we can say, right? Or we can say newly inserted plus updated, we can give like that, right? So this is how from this five record, these two record will be coming two times, right? This record two times, right? EMP number two times, EMP number three two times, and that is why we have created this surrogate key, right? Because if this is a primary key, then we cannot insert the same EMP number into the same table, right? If this is a primary key, but to maintain the uniqueness, that is why we have inserted the this surrogate key, right? Now how we have done this? Now our data flow is perfectly executed and it is perfectly working. Now the question is how we have implemented this into the data flow. So let me show you the data flow. I have taken the two different sources over here. I have taken the two different sources over here. Now, now this is my first source, right? This is my first source. So what I am doing, I am renaming the column into the source because I want to distinguish the column name between the source and the sink. That is why for EMP number I am doing the rename, right? Source EMP number, source name, source designation, source salary, like that. Now I want to compare the same thing between the source and the sink, right? Source and the sink. So that is why I have put the lookup activity, right? That is why I have put the lookup activity. And if you now see the data flow, or if you now execute the data preview over here, then it will show you, right? It will show you which records are. So now it is updated, right? Now it is updated. So everything will be same as it is. So now let me do one more time. Let me do one thing to show you the. Let me truncate again, and let me truncate again this table also. Now let me truncate table OLT EMP, right? Let me truncate it. And now let me insert the data into this table again as well. Now let me show you the data. It is having 5 record, it is having 4 record, right? Okay. Now let me again refresh the data preview so you can get the better idea, right? This time. So now if you see over here, now if you see over here, there is one record is not available into my uh, second table, right? One record is not available into my second table. So for that purpose, I have to take the conditional split. And in the conditional split, what should I write? I can write that ESK is null, right? ESK is null. So if you see over here into this conditional split, I have written new records. For the new records, I have to check whether ESK is null. So for that purpose, that surrogate key is not generated, right? So that is why that value should be null for the new record because it is not available into the sync side, right? So for that purpose, it should be null. And for the match record, we do not we can do some other activities. But now again over here, 12 columns are, if you see over here, 12 columns are there, but I want to only maintain the 4 columns only. So that is why I have taken the select transformation, and after the selecting of the required columns only, I am inserting the data into this my destination table. What is my destination table? My destination table is this dim table, right? Dim emp table, right? Perfect. So that is my first task. Now for the match record, what I have to do, I want to do the update as well as I want to do the insert also, right? So now over here I am again checking what I am checking over here. What are the records that is get it updated, right? So let me, so for that purpose I am matching the hash value of all the combined column, and because of two columns are integer, so I have to for combining all the columns I have to use the concat function, right? And because of two columns are integer, I have to convert it into the two string. So that I have done over here. So I am comparing the source side combination of hash value with the destination side combination of hash value, right? And if it is not equal to, then only what I have to do, then only I have to, if it is not equal to, right, if it is not if it is not equal to, then I have to go to the, I have to update that particular end date and is active, right? Because then only that record is getting updated. And for that updated record, for old record, I have to update the end date and is active, right? So I am up is active, I am making 0 because that is a old record. And also end date, I have to update it with the current used UTC date, right? And for the updation purpose, I have to use the update if, I have to use the alter row transformation. And in the alter row transformation, update if all the records I want to update, right? So over here it should be, let's preview the data. How many records are coming? Let's see that one. So two records are coming over here, right? And that two records, for these two record, I want to make the old record as inactive, right? Old record as inactive, right? So this record I need to make it as inactive. So for that purpose, I have used the alter row transformation. And in the alter row transformation, what I am doing over here, let's see. See, I am for this 10th 1,70,000, I am updating the end date and is active, and that is what I have shown you over here, right? That is what I have shown you over here. And then I am loading the data into the sync side, and then only I have to update this ESK table end date and is active. I don't want all the columns, right? And now the second thing is over here, whatever the records are there, I need to insert the record, right? I need to insert the record, right? And over here, one thing you have to go to this mapping, and over here, allow update you have to write, because I want to update. And over here, whenever you are check mark this allow update, you have to give one key column. And that is why we have created this surrogate key column, right? That is why we have created this surrogate key column. Now what you have to do, you have to go to this second portion in which you have to take all these four columns. Which four columns? EMP number, salary, designation, and name, right? And then you have to write that data into the sync side again, right? You need to write that data. You have to this auto mapping untick, and only you have to select these four columns, right? Only you have to select these four columns, right? And now everything is completed. Over here I have three syncs are there, so you have to specify the in which order you have to execute all of these three different syncs. So you can specify like this, right? You can specify like this: order 1, order 2, and order 3, right? Now everything is completed. You can execute this data flow, and once the data flow is getting executed, you will find the perfect result what it is showing over here, right? This is what known as slowly changing dimension type 2. So in the interview they will ask you, first of all, do you know about the slowly changing dimension? What is it exactly, right? So in that case you can uh, there are different types of slowly changing dimensions are available: SCD type 0, SCD type 1, and SCD type 2. So SCD type 3 and 4 are also there, but mostly from the SCD up to the SCD type 2 you can explain them, right? In the SCD type 1 what will happen, so that you can see into the previous video, so in which I have explained in detail SCD type 1. So in that particular scenario, no historical value is not maintained. But over here into the SCD type 2, historical value is also we are maintaining, right? So this is how we are maintaining the historical value also, right? So if you see over here, this is my data flow I have created. This is real time practical scenario, right? This is real time practical scenario. So thank you so much everyone. I will add more and more videos in coming days. Most probably on daily basis I will try to upload one video. Thank you.